It's your man Underwood coming back at you, True to the Game videos. And today I'm going to be giving a video response, which I believe will be the first video response for my man Bubba, who is in fact the Grandmaster of Flowers, all of the flowers in fact. So think about that for a minute. Think about the ramifications of that statement. Okay, now that you're done, I'm going to proceed on and definitely go check out Master of Flowers' channel. I'm sure he'll comment back here. I'm going to link the video to him. I'm guessing he'll accept it. But check him out. He's putting his channel together. There's some good stuff. Now, he had a great visual in a video he put together. He raised up this bucket. He said, I believe 25 pounds of coins. And if I get the number right, thumb me up one. And I don't have that. There's no independent verification. We must take his word for this. And we don't know if he's legitimate on those numbers. If he has guesstimated that. Or if he's kayfabing us. We're not sure about that, Bubba. And I would, for one, like to see some credentials on that weight. But regardless of that for just a moment, and only for a moment, the fact is that players have gratuitously abused the system of carrying too much stuff. Now you have that absurdly stringent DM that no one wants to play with. And if you're this DM, stop. Just stop. You don't need to take count of everything all the time, everything. It's too cumbersome, too much details in a pointless situation. Let's sit there and have to have the players role-playing out, getting water from the well, or they die because they drowned, or they take a piss. So you didn't say you did, so your bladder explodes now. You know, I've seen a few game masters who are ridiculous like that, and it's just fucking retarded. You know, you got to look at it in terms of a TV show or a movie. They don't need to show all that. That's just off-screen time, and those things do happen. However, that has opened up the response, and a lot of people did this, particularly in the old school. A lot of the newer gamers aren't going to really go, oh, that's stupid, no one will do that. Sadly, you know, in the 70s and 80s, a lot of people did run games that stringently, even bleeding over into the early 90s. I have seen it myself, and it's the balls. So, that aside, how much is too much? And how much can characters carry? Well, this needs to be really taken and pulled apart and thought about. Unfortunately, they typically just give you a weight system. Well, that's okay, except they give you 50 coins per pound, 3.5 D&D. 50 coins per pound. Where are you carrying 50 coins? You got like an 18 strength, not difficult to get, particularly if you're a few levels up there, a few stat raises. Hell, you got Gauntless Ogre Strength or whatever. You carry a ridiculous amount of coins if you're running around, you know, with sacks on you or whatever. But where are you carrying all this stuff? You can't have the volume to carry much, and I find that to be the most gratuitous offender. Now, there's some players who are not conscientious. I pride myself on being a conscientious player, or trying to keep track of water and rations, and sort of that to a degree, not to that absurd degree I just talked about, but to a degree, and where everything is. So I can describe it to you exactly where, for the most part, my character has all of his items. And for the most part, I don't mean I can mostly describe them to you, but at most times, obviously, you know, if he's sitting at camp, things might be in a different position or whatever. But as he's traveling, you know, I have my dagger here, my hand axe here, my horn-shaped water skin here, my three large belt pouches here. Got my flint and steel tucked here in my belt. I have a small eating dagger in my boot, a knife, you understand? I have my leather jerkin on, my leather bracers. I got my backpack over my shoulder. I got my spell component bag here, and I got a few things in a backpack. I got a strap over the shoulder where I have my battle axe, and I'm good to go. I can just tell you where everything is. I got my 50-foot of rope, grappling hook in the backpack. But you'll have characters, and I even played with a guy like this a lot. My man Melvin on the road, who'll just, you know, if you let him, he would have all the equipment, just everything you could possibly imagine on his character sheet, vastly beyond even weight carrying capacities. But you know, and you may have seen a player like this who wants to carry 18 to 972 weapons around. Well, you can't carry 18 to 972 weapons around. You can't do it because you don't have that kind of space in your body. Maybe you'll say shurikens or something goofy like that, and perhaps. But I'm talking about long swords, falchions, rapiers, pole arms, tulwars, whatever it is, large, big, smashing weapons. You cannot have a slew of those on you. Maybe 2 of them, if you're a real big, strong guy. Maybe. Followed by maybe 2 or 3 daggers, maybe you have a bow on, something like that. But you have to have placement in addition to weight capacity. Where are all these things? I'd really like to hear from people in terms of, have you played with people who are grotesque abusers of that? Are you yourself a grotesque abuser of that? Do you find it absolutely fun to play that Dungeons & Dragons video game style, where you just take all the loot and, well, you got a slot for it? Sure, I have 19 halberds on my character. Who can't carry 19 halberds around? I have 28 slots. That's a problem. This halberds are very, very large. So, to err away from doing that, one of the things I like to institute is small belt pouches can hold 50 coins, large belt pouches can hold 80 coins. I have no idea if I created that or if it came from somewhere else. I've been doing that at least 15 years consistently. It's a rule I hold them to when I play in games. So at most, I might be pushing 200 coins, and that's pretty much going to be my limit as far as a character goes. So, as Master of Flowers pointed out in his video, how do you jump around? How do you tumble? How do you move? And he only really kind of brushed up against it, but I think the deal needed a bit more expansion. How do you do all those things, and how do you damn well just travel with 40 sacks? I'm not talking little pouches at this point, but I'm talking about sacks. Like, you got like 8 Santa Claus bags hanging off your belt, smacking against your ass cheeks. How are you going to travel with 8 Santa Claus sacks hanging off your belt, smacking against your butt cheek? How are you going to do it? I can't. I wouldn't want to endure that sort of time. Now, you can certainly do some intelligent things in your game, like institute some banking, and that kind of makes the characters go back to certain places, and bringing them back to a city is a good thing, because then you can have subtle developments, subtle advancements, and that makes the game seem more real. And, they might even accrue some interest, or your world might say, oh, well, we will hold the money for you, but we charge you some interest on it. Now, I don't like that. I think it was going to kind of deter from the characters doing it. So I'll give them a little bit of interest, and I keep time in my game, so it's not that difficult to run some numbers and do interest. But you can even be sloppy and just say, okay, you get the same money back, or maybe you just randomly throw them a few extra coins on top of what they had. But getting players out of the habit of, I carry everything around with me, is good, because it helps them feel more a part of the world instead of a part from the world. And a lot of times characters do feel that. They have made the character. They are the character. The party are a bunch of entities put into this alien world. The world itself is the game master. So when you get that more integration, the more seamlessness, that they are just citizens and residents of the world, like any other citizen or resident of the world, I think characters relax a little bit on that. And I think it comes as a consequence of having played games that were just bad games, and they thought they needed everything in the world, 19 magical weapons carried around. But I'd like to hear from you guys, your responses, what you have seen in terms of the most gratuitous abusers of this system, of the carrying capacity, of the weight capacity, of just the volume, the sheer volume of bulk of items, where you were just looking, you maybe as a game master pulled a sheet and said, where is this stuff? You don't even have a horse, dude. Come on now. And they just looked back at you blank-eyed and confused. So, Bubba, I think it's going to be your first video response. Thanks for the videos, brother. Keep it up. Go check his channel out. Subscribe to him. And let me know what you think if you have seen this style of play. And if you think this style of play is just straight as a mall, let me know that too. So, thanks for watching.